is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking Invincible, Season 4, Episode 7. We're getting pretty close to the end. That's not the title of the show. I'm just saying we're getting close to the end of the season. And The Boys, final season, Episode 3. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, Chris, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic. I watched these episodes again last night, so they could be fresh in my mind, but I have a terrible memory. I bet I will forget half of the things I want to say. But the way we run our format, it really keeps me in line. So, Keith, I want to thank you for coming up with that format. Besides that, I'm fan-freaking-tastic, and I can't wait to talk. Doug, how are you doing?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am outstanding. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just said on our last stream how good the episodes were, and once again, we get to talk about two more amazing episodes. And this time, thank you, Jeffrey Bezos and company, for delivering some delicious episodes, because we got both The Boys and Invincible to talk about. And oh man, we are literally nearing towards the end of both. I mean, we're nearing towards the end of this season of Invincible, and we are catapulting towards the end of The Boys, which it's been a journey. I think didn't we first start talking about that back during the pandemic?
Yeah.
About season 5?
Yeah, I started talking about season 5.
Yeah, that's how long it's been on
took
hiatus.
a while, yeah.
Oh man, but excellent shows. Chris, how are you doing?
Guys, I am doing marvelous. Can't wait to talk to you about these episodes of The Boys and Invincible. Happy Prime Day, guys. This is where we talk all things Amazon Prime. So it's going to be fun. Like Dave, I was halfway like Dave. I watched Invincible twice. Only watched Boys once. Didn't have time to watch it again, but my God, can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So Keith, how are you doing, buddy?
Gentlemen, I am tremendous. We talk about it all week. We are having just wonderful show after show after show. It does not feel at all like work watching all of these incredible shows we are getting. And I just want to say, Battle Beast is out in the chat on YouTube. Welcome back, Battle Beast. Always good to have you.
Back.
You may notice that our title card is lacking your image. We won't say who's to blame for it, but we will serve him up on a platter for you if you would like, sir.
It'll be swift justice. Yes. That'll be.
I'm sorry, you guys.
And if you don't find it here, you will find it elsewhere.
Yes.
Yes, sir. But let's talk Season 4, Episode 7, Don't Do Anything Rash.
Mm-hmm.
We get...
What a title.
Yes.
I know, right?
I saw the title and I'm like, oh, something's going to go very bad
opposite
here.
Day?
Somebody's going to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's, possibly.
Yes.
But
yes.
we start with another flashback. And it's, I don't even know how long. I put down thousands of years ago, but I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know why I put that. But we see why Thaddeus is against Emperor Argyle and Thrag and everybody else. And we see his assassination of
It's
Emperor.
not Thaddeus, is it?
Yeah. Thetis.
Thaddeus?
It is Thetis.
Oh,
Thaddeus.
I think he's saying Thaddeus because of Fallout.
Yeah,
I probably
it is
am.
Thetis.
It is spelled similar. It looks
is.
like Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
So I can see if you're reading it. Yeah.
Here, let's make it easier. The Betrayer.
There you go.
The guy who done made their leader into a skull. That rolls off the tongue.
And so the Betrayer, or Thetis, played to perfection by Peter Cullen of Optimus Prime. Did you catch who Emperor Argyle was voiced?
Lee Pace. Wait a minute.
No.
Argyle?
No,
I saw it. Now I can't remember because I stayed for the credits.
Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown?
No.
Wait, no.
I heard Clancy's voice this episode.
So who was an antagonist to Megatron?
Oh, I know Frank Welker was one of them.
Mhm.
Who was he? Who did he voice?
Oh, I meant not Optimus Prime. So who's an antagonist? Optimus Prime, Megatron. So
Yeah.
yes, the voice actor who played Megatron was
Calvin
Argyle. So
Johnson?
you have Optimus Prime and Megatron
Yeah.
doing these scenes together again. It's pretty
That is
cool.
fabulous. That is really
Yes. Yes.
good. But we see that Thrag, after the
Yeah,
betrayer
Frank Welker.
murdered Grand Regent Argyle, Thrag is
Mhm.
named ruler in his place, and he orders the Viltrumites to fight to purge the weak from their ranks, which turns into an absolute bloodbath.
That's where we
Literally.
finally we kind of get up to speed finally with where Nolan sort of begins to introduce the Viltrumites when he's telling
Yeah.
Mark at first about how they had a great purge in order to get rid of the weak. Now we know why. We know where that came from. It was almost a pure emotional response from Thrag when he
Oh, yeah.
when he found out that their leader had been killed, the Emperor. And we learn a lot more about Thrag. We get more about his personality, who he is, and I told you guys in our chat that this flashback does not exist in the comics. So I'm glad that
That's
they did
awesome.
it because it gives you a little more insight into how he thinks and what he does. So from what I gather, and I don't know if you guys saw this too, but to me it seems more like he never wanted the throne, and he really is just keeping it warm until they find somebody to take
they
their
find an
rightful
heir.
place. And
Yep.
he also almost acts like he's an elected leader in a way where he's like making these decisions that he thinks is best for the community at large or for the
Yeah.
people rather than, anything else. And so he's, gathering information like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And you've got the betrayer who's like, well, we've had all these uprisings. Maybe we should ease up on people. And then the Emperor looks at Thrag and says, well, what do you think? You're the regent.
Yep.
Well, taking all this information, I really do think that the rest of the Viltrumites are correct. We do need to put the hammer down, and we really need to show these people who's boss. And so, yeah, it does now make a lot more sense why the betrayer did what he did, but it also makes sense why Thrag is the way that he is, too.
No,
Yeah.
very true.
They're all about these mass extinction events. I mean, let's fight and kill at least half of us.
It's like
Yeah.
they see themselves almost as godlike in a way.
It's
Yeah.
very much like thinning the herd for like zebras and stuff, where they
Yeah.
take the weakest out and the herd is stronger
Yeah.
because of it.
Cull the weak.
It's like what Cliff Clavin said on Cheers. When you're drinking and it's killing your brain cells, it's only killing the weakest. So you're
weakest.
actually getting smarter.
That's right.
But
Oh.
Is that how it works? Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Science.
I don't think Cliff would lie to us, so yes. And I just want to let you know, Battlebee said, we had Optimus Prime and Megatron in the same room. I should have been there.
Yes. You should have been there. My only issue is, after Thrag takes over, they're doing the big culling of all the weak, but his whole mission is to find the heir to Emperor Argyle, right? He's
Yeah.
trying to find his descendants. What if one of them was just killed in the bloodbath? It's
Right?
Then he wasn't strong enough to lead.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was about to say
Simple
the
as that.
same thing, but yes, I was thinking that as well. As he's saying, he walks out and he sadly proclaims, "We need to do a purge
Yeah.
because I'm a sad boy. Everybody beat each other to
Sad
death.
boy Thrag.
Men, women, children, doesn't matter. I just love
Yeah.
killing."
I want to hear Lee Pace as Thrag now
From
say,
Populous.
because I'm a sad boy.
From Populous Thrag.
Right. So it was great. He's like, okay, you all go kill each other. I'm gonna go back in the palace
Yeah.
now.
He did. He just retired to the palace, sat down for a little bit.
Talking to the skull. I sure hope
Yeah.
we find your child or your grandchild.
Yeah.
Hope they're not dead.
No,
Anyway.
they're not dead. Exactly. And
With the way he thinks, there's no way a child of, Argyle could be dead. They are
Of
going to be the
Argyle's gonna be the-
strongest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, in fact, they
He-
even
he might be
say
right.
later on in this episode that the only way that he could be regent was, Thrag being the strongest, and the regent is probably weaker than the emperor. So yeah, it would stand to reason that any child of the emperor should live up to that.
Should. Yeah.
Should live up to that. Should be as strong as or stronger than the regent.
Yeah. And one of the audience probably is a little questionable. If you haven't seen any of the comics or anything like that with Thrag, Thrag's actually older than Nolan and a lot of these other characters. I think he's
Doesn't
older
look
than
it.
Thetis too. Doesn't look it at all. And this is my point, is the reason he doesn't look as old is because he is basically the peak of what it means to be a Viltrumite. He's the peak warrior. He's got the best genetics for what they supposedly
Right.
For fighting.
So
and he gets to wear that
fighting.
pelt.
Yeah. So he doesn't have any white hair. He's, in peak form, and that's why, even though he is older
Is
than
this
all of these guys.
perhaps foreshadowing to events later in this episode?
Maybe.
But
But we'll
we're
get
back.
there.
Yeah,
You
we're
should
back.
Stick around, guys.
Back in the present day, we see the Betrayer, Mark, Nolan, Oliver, Allen, Battlebeast, Zoe, Space Racer, all
Yeah.
traveling to Viltrum.
Getting together. The
And
crew.
they are, pre-battle nerves talking about what their favorite meals are, what their last meal would like to be. And, they're coming up with all of these things, and Battlebeast walks
Battlebeast
in.
is the best.
And
I only wish to taste my own blood.
Yeah.
choking
Best
on my own
response.
blood because I
Yeah.
finally found a worthy opponent.
We're the opponent.
So it's like you want somebody to be like, all right, edgelord, I see you. You are clearly lording over all of those edges.
You know what I would be thinking? I'd be thinking, what happens when this is all over and we won? Is he just gonna be? He needs someone to kill now that's at his level, and I'm next in line.
Well, as you know, he'll just go to other universes and multiverse
That's true,
to find worthy opponents.
Well, see, that's essentially
Never-ending
what I was.
search.
If you don't mind a teeny tiny tangent time, that's essentially what I was saying about Maul when we were talking about if we didn't know what was going to happen, if we hadn't seen that episode of Rebels and we didn't know how his story ends, let's say that he did finally find Obi-Wan. Let's say that he did accomplish his mission of getting his revenge. Let's say that after that he somehow manages to go after Palpatine. What does he do then? What is left? What's left for people like him? And so same with characters like Battlebeast. What happens when they finally do find a worthy opponent? What happens to Thrag when he finally finds the true heir to the throne?
Yes.
Does he
I
react
bet
like
that gets explored.
the steward of Gondor and not give it up, or does he welcome the return of the king?
Or does he stand in the corner and eat teeny tiny tomatoes?
Tomatoes are gross, so that's
Squirting
not too
juice everywhere.
But I just want to let you know, the Battle Beast did say, the many battles I experienced throughout me being in the coalition was magnificent.
Yes.
I need to work on a Michael Dorn impression. But,
Yeah.
they end up getting to Viltrum. They're traveling through the Ring of Bodies. I fell into that burning ring of bodies. But
That's the first thing I thought of when you said that.
they are ambushed by the Viltrumites, who knew they were coming. And
No kidding. I mean, come on. That was the most
I know.
obvious trap.
Yeah.
Like, I get the Viltrumites aren't exactly the brightest bunch, but come on. I mean,
Yeah.
the coalition should have seen that coming.
I mean, and they're
mile
wearing
away,
the same uniform of everybody in the floating in space. Perfect place to hide. They just got to be on the right side of the planet when they approach.
Now, what would have been kind of funny is if the Viltrumites had just kind of jumped the gun and were hiding out among the bodies, but then the coalition didn't come for a month later, and so in the meantime they run out of air.
I'm gonna go back
That's how
to
we
the planet.
defeated him.
No,
We just didn't attack.
Right.
they can arrive at any moment, but I need to go down there.
Yeah.
No,
Battle Beast has said, "When I find a worthy opponent, I will die a glorious death and proceed in the afterlife and pursue a worthy opponent in Valhalla."
In Valhalla. Yes.
We
Oh gosh.
we wish you nothing but the best, Battle Beast. We hope you find that worthy opponent, not because we want you to see you beaten, just because we know that's your goal, and we want what you want for yourself. But huge battle erupts. Oliver attacks Thrag and is severely injured, let's say. I thought he was dead. I really thought he was dead.
A
at
black
first.
hole called, and it wants its suck back. That's what he said before he took the punch.
Oh, Oliver.
And I got something to say about that more towards after what happens a little bit later in the episode.
We'll keep that in mind
As far as
because
his arm getting ripped off.
Thrag does attempt to convince Nolan to rejoin the Viltrumites. And
Yep,
I
go
thought
down
they've
to the
done a
planet.
good job of having him questioning all the way
Oh,
up
yeah.
here, leading up to this, because I honestly thought he might rejoin them. But I think strong ties with Oliver and, Mark and living on that planet for a few months, I think without that, he might have rejoined them. But I think because of that, he did decide he wasn't going to do it. And Thrag, you posted that GIF in a thing where he pulls his punch back and it creates it's so
A
powerful.
vortex.
It creates, oh my God. I watched that and was like, okay, they're dead.
That was insane. And it pulled Nolan in, too, as he was pulling back his punch. It pulls him in, and my God, I've never seen quite an awesome punch like that with Thrag. So all the haters could just go suck it. When it comes to Thrag, it's like, he really
Seriously.
shut everybody up this episode.
Everyone who was calling him a fraud prior to this episode has been awfully quiet since it dropped on Wednesday.
Right? Like, oh.
And the best thing about that punch, if you watch boxing, any combat sports, the punches that usually knock somebody out is when they're moving into it. So they're moving in and the punch is coming and it's like, so he was being pulled in and just took the full brunt of it. I was like,
I know.
Okay, Nolan might be dead now too.
That's what I thought at first too. Yeah, I was like, whoa, he's not surviving that, but he just got a bloody nose. I was like, oh, okay.
And of course, Nolan makes the logical next step in what they should do. He has Space Racer shoot his disintegrator ray, or whatever we're going to call it, his massive weapon, through the planet, and the betrayer, Nolan and Mark, fly behind it and basically destroy
Before we
Viltrum.
get there, can we talk about how, Mark goes up against him before this?
I thought,
He's
it
like,
was
I-
before this. You're right.
I killed Conquest. And then he's like, show me.
Right.
So he goes in for the punch. The most
He
beautiful
doesn't even move.
shot of the entire episode, in my opinion, is when he punches him and you see that flash of the devilish red skull, and Thrag just unbothered. He's like, I am not impressed. And it's like,
That's a pretty good Lee Pace right there.
Thank you.
Good job.
Show me.
We may have to add channel points for Chris to do Lee Pace.
That's right. Let's do that.
Yeah, but well done. And if you notice, Anissa kind of took note when Mark revealed that he's the one that killed Conquest, because they didn't know that at the time. And then she turns around like,
Well, little
Okay.
Marky's growing up.
well. Yeah.
I assume the wanting to repopulate the Viltrum Empire goes both ways.
It does.
It does. That mission goes for all Viltrumites.
And of course, we'll talk about the end when we get there. But, they end up destroying Viltrum by traveling through its planet
Oh,
core,
such a cool scene.
destroying all of their clothes except for their pants. Thank you, animators at the studio for that. Do appreciate that.
Well, Robert Kirkman, he was beginning to draw Nolan, and they're like, "Well, no.
No.
You're
Stop.
not going to pass the Comics Code Authority."
No.
Okay, and then he's dreaming one day it's going to be animated. No. Not going to work.
But it's on Prime. Can't we show it? But
Damn
guys,
you boys, you've beat me again.
You guys,
Not in the budget.
I
you
know.
guys
Not in the
show
budget.
forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Twice.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
But the betrayer demands the Viltrumites surrender, and Thrag gives him his answer by decapitating him in one
I
fluid motion.
choose death.
I want to once again give credit where credit is due when it comes to the animated series versus the comic. Now, when they showed, Nolan and Mark and the Betrayer deciding that they were going to finally, blow up the planet, you could see that it was not an easy decision, but also it almost hurt Mark more than it hurt Nolan, which is a little odd. But the way that they present it in the show is they combine the action with not only just showing them moving through the planet, but then the music kind of builds up, and you can sort of hear the
Yeah.
sadness baked into the music as well, because
You do.
it shouldn't be taken lightly that they're literally destroying an entire planet. Now, yeah, it was home to a bunch of murderous monsters,
Yeah.
but it still stands to reason this shouldn't be taken lightly. And I think in the comic it was a page. It was like,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
let's fly through the planet. Okay, we did, and that was it. And
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much emotion behind it. It was just like an action scene in a comic. This took that moment and kind of expanded it. Also, the fact that they combined it with the blast from Space Racer, again, not in the comic, I think that added to the I don't want to say realism. That's a hard thing to say with comic book
It is real.
characters,
The
but
believability
it
of
makes it more plausible than
Believability.
just
I like that,
three
yeah.
dudes flying through a planet.
And honestly, Mark had to make that split second decision. We know he's
Yeah.
been worried about becoming Omni-Man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he did it, and I think he's going to have guilt after it too. Like, holy cow, I am
Yeah.
basically kind of becoming my father, and that is not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
Because
and
it did.
just
It
the
did
look.
seem. It seemed to come easier for Nolan than it did for
Yeah.
Mark or
And
anybody else.
Thetis
for that
too.
matter.
Thetis was like,
Yeah,
"Let's do
Thetis
this."
was like, yeah,
Mark's
oh
like,
hell
"What?
yeah! I wish I would have thought of
What?"
that.
Yeah, Mark's the only one that really had hesitation in that moment, and it was. I almost felt bad afterwards because they show all the Viltrumites looking at the planet too, and I almost felt bad for him
Like
too.
horror almost. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
God, we didn't even ever think of doing that.
And okay, guys, I got a question for you here. And they show, I think it's Lucen, one of the Viltrumites. Doesn't he look an awful lot like Steve Harvey?
Kind of.
Yeah, he kind of
I saw
Kind
that
of, yeah.
shot. He's got
He
the
does- he
same
does have the
mustache,
same kind of,
same nose. I
Yeah.
was like, they totally took Steve Harvey and made him into this Viltrumite character. I was like, you could see it very much so with his reaction to the planet exploding. I was like, that's just shot for shot Steve Harvey.
That's cool. And just so you know, the Battle Beast has said Thrag is a fool if he thinks that small encounter in space is a true fight. Our next battle will be glorious.
You did watch this episode, right?
He may have a concussion.
Yeah. Might.
It's
So,
okay.
Battle Beast, your next fight will be glorious. Yes.
In the afterlife.
Yes.
Then Mark sends Alan to find Oliver, saying find him. Nolan and him kind of confront Thrag. Thrag punches right through Nolan. I was like, oh my
Just
god.
the the screech of sorrow that came out of Thrag as he literally pulled the two parts of the planet apart to fly at them. Just like,
yeah.
no!
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Vader at the end of episode 3.
A little bit, but even more intimidating. Just my God.
The tears flying out of
yeah.
his. Now it's just he's pure, just hatred and sadness coming at them.
Yeah, and all the hate that they get for the animation style, I think that they did a
They did this
fantastic
good.
job with this episode. They really did justice to this whole scene.
Yeah, they did.
The animation has always been good. It's just never as good as the comics. The comics were always a little step above them, but it's
I'd
always
say-
been good. And they've been taking a little extra special care these last few episodes, especially with the space battles and the things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the animation has sometimes lacked the detail. I think it's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
misses more often than not. But they have, yeah, you're right, Keith. They've been kind of picking up the slack a little bit when it comes to these last
Hmm.
couple of episodes. There, I think this must have been where most of the budget went.
Right.
But he then grabs Mark and he's trying to give him the mountain treatment from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And he decides to spare them because of the dwindling Viltrumite numbers.
Hmm.
So obviously
And
he
the
thinks
other
they
Viltrumites are like
survive.
the other
He thinks
Viltrumites are
they
like
survive,
Grand
but
Regent. Kill him. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Just get it over with. They're all traitors. They're betrayers. They're the worst of the
And
worst. And you
yeah.
can see Thrag, like the Viltrumite, the pure citizen Viltrumite part of him is like, yeah, I really do want to kill them. But now the Grand Regent part of him is like, but is this what's
Hmm.
best for the people?
he
Yeah. Because he
obviously
catches the
thinks
exploded planet
that
in the
they
dungeon.
can be reconverted if he
Yeah, like
lets
win
them.
them over.
Yeah,
I almost
they
think
will
he looked at
eventually
it.
come around.
I think he looks at it too like they are strong among us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
True.
they could be brought
Hmm.
back into the fold once we handle these
Yeah.
things. But yeah, I was kind of shocked, but it makes sense because, you know, we know, well, we'll talk about it at the end, but, they
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
up,
And Grand Regent was ultimately very impressed that Mark killed Conquest. He's one of the strongest Viltrumites out there, so it's
Hmm.
like it would be a shame to actually lose this kid because
Oh yeah.
he's showing a lot of promise.
And you hit the nail on. He's still a kid, which means
Hmm.
he can only grow stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
and, end up, Coalition rescues Mark and Nolan. They end up
Hmm.
healing up on the ship a couple times. Alan is named the new leader of the Coalition. We see Oliver with a prosthetic arm in a back to tube. Oh wait, no, it's probably something else. But
I
and
think he had a
Looks awful
prosthetic
lot
jaw
like
too.
one.
a prosthetic.
Yeah,
what?
was it a prosthetic jaw? He had
Yeah.
like a mask thing on.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right. It
jaw
tore
got
his face off.
Ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Might have to
Mhm.
watch it again. Oh, darn it.
Oh
I know.
no!
Shucks, you guys. And
You should watch it with your kid.
yeah, Sully wants to watch it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I know.
This is why you don't talk back to your elders, son.
Yeah, exactly. Sully,
Now let's go
just,
fly to outer space.
just so you know, Sully, I'm Thrag. You're Oliver.
Jeez.
I'll be good.
Wow, Dad.
Excellent. But the Coalition is searching for the Viltrumites. They can't find them. And Mark realizes, oh my god, they are heading
Ah.
towards Earth.
What a way to end the episode. Oh my gosh.
I did not think they were going to jump right to that point in this episode. I kind of thought they were going to spread the actual battle out over these next two episodes. So
Yeah.
interesting that they're jumping right to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Finale on Earth, and they got
Yeah.
so many other stories to tell that they've already set up. But they've been. It's for me. It's nice because they've been focusing on this story for like 3 episodes at least now, and that I like that a lot better than jumping around to like say I don't know hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a
Well-
shame if they did that. It's good they didn't.
If they would
Right.
have done that well, it would have been a little better. Like, it's okay. Sometimes side quests, those things happen. When they're told well and engaging towards the
Yeah.
audience, it's okay. When we got what we got this season, especially with how good this season has been, it stuck out much more because of how great this season has been. And
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah, I think you're right. It wouldn't have been as much of a pockmark if the rest of the season wasn't so amazing. And the pacing of this show always gets me too because it's like I can never quite tell where we're gonna end up because like some things are just like we get so much and it's so dense throughout the season. It's like that story plot I thought was gonna take a long time to resolve and it
That's
ends
what
up
I
resolving
thought.
really quick. And it's like okay, we're at this point and like I said, like I think maybe the next episode is gonna be like not a wind down. I'm sure there's going to be some action, but at the same time, it's going to be table dressing for the next season, really.
And just
Yeah.
some comments on YouTube. Battle Beast says a little off topic, but just to make sure, who would win between Thrag and all of the Invincible variants? Just to see who would be a
Oh,
more
well,
glorious battle for me.
honestly, Thrag, I think, just because we saw that the Invincible variants weren't even as strong as our version of Mark,
Not
and
Mark. Mark's the strongest of those.
yeah, and they were pretty quickly dealt with.
Yeah.
So
And then-
yeah, I think that'd be easy pickings for Thrag.
Payush Bhatti, did you watch Attack on Titan? I guess I told you to watch it. I know Doug has watched Attack on Titan. Chris may have. I don't think Dave and I have.
Yeah.
At some
Haven't
point,
seen it.
we may handle it
It's
for
an
the channel
uplifting
during
series.
a slow period. But, so
Wow.
Yeah.
50%
Now
of
I'm
it.
straight.
A feel good watch.
You know-
From
you
what I
know
hear, it's like watching Seventh Heaven, right?
Yeah,
If you-
exactly.
If
Jessica
you
Biel.
love your mother, you should definitely sit down and watch that first episode with her.
Yep. Especially if you love your mother. Yes.
You know,
Can I
getting
watch
back.
it with my mother?
Whoa. But getting back
I
to
thought that's what he
Invincible, I
said.
wonder if we are going to see the Viltrumites arrive. Obviously, they're going to beat the Coalition and these people to Earth.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
going to see the Guardians of the Globe attempt to handle this Viltrumite force? Because that might be difficult to watch.
We might see
all
it,
your
or we
favorite
might see
characters will be dying there.
some interesting thing on there. Yeah.
It'll be like
It's going to be
episode
interesting.
1 all over again.
I
So,
kind of want. If we
I,
want to go into spoilers, right?
Yeah,
wanna
I
go
was
into
I was
spoilers?
about to ask, do you mind if I get a little spoilery, or do you want me to just kind
Do
of
it.
like
You
keep
mean
to myself?
from the comic book
All right,
spoiler?
on
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't see any harm in that since they don't seem to be following it word
Well,
for
that's
word.
that's why I want to bring this up
True.
because I don't think they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you remember what I was saying back when Oliver was hanging out with Nolan? When Invincible was recovering and everything.
Yeah.
And I had said that they had already kind of changed a little bit about Oliver's personality. So in the comic, he the entire time that he's on Earth, that he's like, the only thing that he thinks about is how great Nolan is and how much he hates being on Earth. He really doesn't get along with anybody there, and he doesn't like being on Earth. He doesn't really acclimate as well as he does in the animated series. So when he wakes up and he finds out that the Viltrumites have made it to Earth, he actually is like real quick to try and talk Alan into using the virus. And Invincible is like, hey, no, we really shouldn't because we don't know how it will affect humans. We know that it can attack Viltrums, but Viltrums are able to mate with humans. We don't know what effect that virus will have on humans. And in the comics, Oliver is, I don't really care. I don't like Earth anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't see show Oliver going there.
Exactly. So I really think that's why they've been changing up his personality, is because I don't think that's the direction the show is going to go in. I think that there's going to be a threat of using the virus, but I don't think it's going to be Oliver.
Yeah.
Or do you think he might have a different
agree.
opinion after getting his arm and jaw ripped off by Thrag?
No, I don't, because we also just heard him. What did he mention about his last meal? What he would deem to be his
Spaghetti.
perfect meal. But specifically
Yeah, Paul's
His mom's
spaghetti.
Yeah,
Paul's
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Right. Again, establishing that connection to people on Earth. He cares very much about Debbie. He even cares about Paul. I
Yeah, he
don't
does.
think this version of Oliver would want to see harm come to Earth or the Earthlings.
Great point. Great point.
Excellent point, yes. And Battle Beast just wants us to know that I am still in space because the Coalition forgot I was there after getting tossed away by Thrag.
Yeah.
Tossed away.
Not the first time. Yeah.
Say, do you guys think Battle Beast is coming back?
Yes.
Yes. 100%. That was also another little qualm I had about the show. The jetpacks and everything. I was like, why isn't anybody just destroying those jetpacks for the ones that can't fly right away? Thrag eventually did. I was like, thank you. Thank you, Thrag.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you for doing that. But it seems like a different chink in the armor when it comes to their going up against the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is like almost fighting a bunch of Supermen who don't have
Yeah, oh, it
Comes
kryptonite
with
yeah.
weakness, don't have a red sun weakness. I mean, they are like, before we saw Thrag fight, I was really like,
Yeah.
okay, they'll be able to handle it. It's going to be. Now I'm like, how do they defeat Thrag? I mean, they're going to have to use subterfuge, trick them, do something. The virus, something. I'm like, I can't wait to see. I hope they do a good job of how, they. I don't know if they'll ever rid themselves of Thrags. I don't know if they'll kill them, but maybe push them away to give them some breathing room. But
Yeah.
that was just great
After this
seeing him
episode,
destroy people.
yeah. And after this episode, they definitely show that this character will not be easy to kill. And,
No.
it definitely set him up as a character that we might not have a way of defeating him.
My qualm with the show is an overall thing. Now, I know that they're not going to kill off Omni-Man or Oliver. I thought maybe Oliver would, but when they found him when he's back healing, okay, and they're not going to kill Invincible. But I never know now when Viltrumites get in battle, unless they get their head ripped off, how much damage they can take, and they'll be able to to heal and come back. Because it's starting, how you don't want to, never kill somebody and bring them back. Well, and that seems like that in Overdrive. No matter how bad they get hurt, if their head isn't ripped off, they're probably going to come back.
Well, it's,
that
it's
head
not
getting
so
ripped
much
off is
just
a weakness.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much just the head getting
That's
ripped
my
off.
kryptonite.
It's if they suffer brain death. That's essentially what would kill a Viltrumite. That's how Mark was able to kill Conquest by cutting off the blood oxygen to his brain.
Yep.
Once he completely suffocated and he wasn't getting blood flow to his brain or oxygen to his brain, that killed him. So essentially brain death, that is true death for a Viltrumite. Punching them through the gut, cutting off their arms, poking out their eyeballs, none of that. They can heal from pretty much all of that.
Yep. They can't grow limbs back, but they can definitely heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Well, maybe Oliver can grow limbs back. He is part insect.
Well, they explain in the comic. I don't think they say it in the show, but they explain in the comic that giving him the prosthetic arm and jaw and everything, the skin will just grow over it. And the Viltrumite body will recognize it as the true limb.
Wow, that's they really went all out.
How did that happen with Conquest in his hand?
He might have chosen not to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Or they just thought he looked cooler with that arm like that.
Yeah.
Even his own skin didn't like him.
Yeah,
So
God, I'm so lonely. Even my skin crawls off of me.
Yep.
And I wonder too. Speaking of Oliver too,
Poor Conquest.
because I really thought his attitude might change, but I think your points about Paul Spaghetti was his favorite. He really has a close relationship with Mark's mom. Feels like his own kid.
Yep.
Do you think he might have pointed rage towards Thrag, and that may have him make some mistakes when they run into him again? Because as much as I want to believe he learned his lesson running up on Thrag like that and getting destroyed almost instantly, he may not be thinking clearly. And if he has a brain fogged over with rage and just goes at him again, that may be the end of Oliver. And I hope Dave's wrong, because I was thinking the same thing. Okay, Omni-Man's good, Oliver's good. None of the main characters are getting killed, and I don't think this show can continue down that path for too long and still be, believable. It's like a lot of Viltrumites die, but we're not seeing really any other outside of the Betrayer, but I don't know if I consider him a main character either.
Yeah. I'd say he's a side character.
And
who had the keys to the virus.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan can get.
I was going to say Alan probably has it.
Now that he's the great Alan.
He's always been great in my book. At least for now.
Think about it. He's getting thrust into a baptism of fire. He's got to organize a defense of Earth. I'm sure he'll be clashing with generals of the coalition, and maybe having to make some morally gray decisions in the fight against the Viltrumites.
100%. Yeah. He's got a fancy new outfit, too, which looks stunning on him.
Yeah, doctor outfit. It looks like pretty much.
Yeah. Mhm.
See, Alan's another one. Alan got his guts ripped out and he was left
Oh,
in
yeah.
space, and then he came
Nice.
back.
Well done, Keith.
Thank you. Now, and now that they're going to Earth, I was thinking about timelines a little bit. So Mark
Okay.
took a couple months recovering after the conquest fight, the spaghetti western, we'll call it. How
I love it.
far is Eve's pregnancy along now? Like, are they going to
yeah.
come back out to Earth and she is either? I don't think it would given birth now. We don't know how far along she was when Mark left, but it's been a very long time since they left. So
She's definitely going to be showing.
yeah, and that'll be a crazy way for Mark to learn he's going to be a dad. And will the Viltrumites figure out that that is Mark's kid?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe target Eve, who we know during her pregnancy, her powers aren't working all that well. I was worried about her.
Well,
The what?
I mean, never mind. I'm not going to say anything. I will let you all just theorize on your own.
Yeah, and like, so I know that for the show, they shortened the time that they were on the planet where he killed Conquest, right? It was like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 months for
Did
that.
they say how long that him, Nolan, and Oliver were out?
I
Is it a
thought
couple
they said
weeks,
a couple
or-
months.
Couple
Couple
weeks
months.
for when they were out at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I think it was a few weeks that they were out, so it wasn't months.
Yeah, because Oliver hadn't eaten in 2 weeks, he said.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
So some time passed. I'm wondering how Mark reacts to knowing he's going to be a father, and the Viltrumites are attacking the planet that his kid are on. He hopefully will keep a level head, but he hasn't always shown that. Like when he saw what happened to Oliver with Thrag, he went after him, and that was not the smartest move he could have made. They need to be, when you have a more powerful force you're going up against, you want to use some strategery. You want to make sure you're handling it the right way and not just run in angry as heck and thinking that's going to handle it. Maybe it worked against Conquest, but we have seen Thrag as a completely different beast.
Yeah, whole different level.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but Mark got lucky against Conquest.
Yep. Yeah.
Very much so. And Thrag showed him mercy because of his strength and because of that. And
Yeah.
I think Thrag may come to regret that at a later date. I hope so. Because, you want him to
think
get
so.
his Joffrey moment because, he's so easy to hate.
Yeah.
Now, one little other minor spoiler that I'm just going to kind of toss out there, because I'm pretty sure they're going to end up showing us this either in this final episode or at the start of the new season. But the other Viltrumites are essentially going to realize why Nolan cares about Earth so much.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. Yeah.
Because it isn't just Nolan who's going to realize, oh, there's more to Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, I might actually care about these people.
Yeah. And they set this up with Nolan, but they also did set this up at the beginning of this episode with Thetis, where they're like, he left for this quadrant and he's never been the same when he came back. He was more
Exactly.
caring and whatnot.
Exactly.
So we have seen Viltrumite go off and grow,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as
into
they're
more
not constantly
humanity.
being bombarded by their,
Right.
The Viltrumites are the only thing there is, and we're the strongest, and everybody else needs to be under our foot, and we rule over them.
Yeah.
As long as they're just kind of like away from all of that, from all the propaganda, and they're able to,
Yeah.
interact with these planets they're supposed to be like ruling over or preparing for conquest or whatever. Like you
No,
realize
Conquest
that.
is dead.
You know what I mean? So conquering. So they tend to sort of learn more about the world that they're on and about the people. And yeah, I think that them showing Thetis react in the way that he did in that meeting is again perfect setup for what we're going to see with the other Viltrumites as they begin to explore Earth, as they're going around like, oh, shoot, maybe I kind of like these people.
Yeah. And that's why it's so awesome that that scene wasn't in the comics at all. So it's just they're improving upon
Yes.
these themes in this narrative arc, with all this extra content, which is
Exactly.
amazing. Love it.
And just remember, the final scene of episode 8 of this season is going to be Paul serving all the Viltrumites his spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
And they-
He's like, you know what? Earth is great.
You know, I didn't even think
He
about
makes his
that.
own
They
meatballs.
They may come there and not like start destroying the Earth, because Thrag may say, we need to find suitable partners to procreate.
We need to build our army back up.
Yes.
And
We're
one
down
of them
to,
is
what
going
do
to
they
pick.
have left? Like 30 some odd
One.
Viltrumites?
One is going to pick Eve,
Let's hope not, but they may already
they
see
won't know it.
her kid as being a Viltrumite, because we know at this point, they've mentioned many times, Mark is pretty much a Viltrumite at this point. It has taken over his human DNA, and so they might think that kid, especially a Viltrumite and a superpowered, Earthling, together. I know you guys know in the comics, it's Terra and all that other stuff, but it could be something that they really want to understand and get a hold of that kid. But I am, we obviously got the penultimate episode this week. It'll be interesting to see.
Nice.
I practiced saying it. Did I do a good job? I was in the mirror like
You
all
did
night.
very good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Great job. Yeah.
You got it, Thaddeus.
Yeah, Rian.
That's his name. But they may come thinking they're ready for battle, and we may see them just sort of on Earth, kind of almost fitting in and not actually attacking everybody and destroying it. And when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to come to Earth and it's going to be on fire and absolutely ablaze.
Absolutely.
Absolutely ablaze.
But that may not be
Or
the
we could
case.
get both.
Yeah, true. We could definitely get both.
Maybe. Wink.
Did not know that.
Edge did.
We got a little spoiler in our chat. We won't be sharing that. That is interesting. I did not know that. But I was expecting her to be basically the emotional anchor of the final episode, like Mark realizing he's going to be a dad, Earth in worse danger than it's ever been, and kind of going at it. But we may see a little different. Interesting to see how it ends. Let's see if I got any more notes that I wanted to talk about. I talked about Alan.
Well, again, the thing to keep in mind is just because it happened a certain way in the comics doesn't mean that it's going to be set in stone for the actual show. There's a scene that they've essentially, at least up until now, that they've skipped over. And I can understand why, because it was very dark. It made sense from the Viltrumites, the way they're thinking point of view, but I don't think they could find a reasonably good way to put it in the show without it going just a bit too overboard. But you had mentioned a certain Viltrumite giving goo eyes to Mark.
Oh, yes.
And I think I've brought this up in the past, that what she does to Mark. Again, they have not done this in the show, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe they won't at all. But a little spoiler is that a child comes about from that moment.
Yeah. We talked about it on the show, so
Because again, this was the entire goal of the Viltrumites.
Yep.
Part of the goal. They're to, build out the Viltrumite ranks.
In my notes, I put Thrag targeting Earth as a new breeding ground.
Well,
I didn't want to say it that way, but I did anyway, because
I mean, that is essentially what they're doing. Yeah.
Hey, as long as both sides had fun.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's hey, the battle beast is out in the chat. I do wonder how many normal Viltrumites could actually give me a magnificent battle. I do critique the battle of I don't know how to say that. Telescria, because of how weak the Viltrumites were compared to the ones on the Viltrumite prison. That is true. A lot of very strong Viltrumites have been killed, and I definitely think a standard Viltrumite is definitely nowhere near Thrag like we've seen Nolan,
No.
the Betrayer. I'm not going to say his name, Dave. I'm looking at you.
Well, now these are the Viltrumites that lived through the Purge.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: there's no guarantee that they lived because they were successful in battle. They could have just been super good at hiding.
Yeah.
They could have pulled a Jerry.
Or,
Yeah,
Luck
exactly.
be a
I kept
lady
crawling the whole
tonight.
way here, and it worked.
or teaming up against some stronger Viltrumites to save themselves.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but should we rate this episode, gentlemen?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll start. I don't know. I wasn't as enthralled with this episode as you guys were. I liked the episode, but I wouldn't put it up in the elite range. I mean, just because of those things I mentioned earlier with the death not seeming permanent. I was wondering how many of those Viltrumites that were in that battle were going to come back. You know, obviously it was a flashback, so we don't know if they came back or not or who they were. But ending, blowing up the planet, that's a pretty strong statement. They got nowhere to go back to. I mean, they can gather anywhere, but I think, Mark is right. They're going back to Earth. Are they going to catch them? They're going to get there. I don't know what kind of damage is going to be done. I don't like predicting things because I'm always wrong, but I'm on this channel, so I must be right, right?
That's right.
So, I don't know. Overall, I'm going to give this episode a 7.8. And I never go with anything but 0.5, but I wanted to lean more towards the positive here. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't blown away. Sorry.
Hey, you don't have to be sorry.
Nothing
That's
to be
why
sorry about.
We all have our own opinions. I mean,
We do.
I really
And
did
all are
enjoy this
acceptable.
episode. I thought they did so much right. I thought, like we talked about the animation, seeing that scene pre-battle where, their nerves are coming up, so they're talking about food and final battles, which then Battle Beast comes in and blows them all away with his little diatribe about choking on his own blood when he's finally, meets. I just thought that was all well done. I didn't see them hiding in the ring of bodies to kind of ambush them at first because I thought they're too overconfident in their abilities. They wouldn't do that. I'm like, I wonder. And then I'm like, oh, here we go. And seeing Thrag standing there watching, I'm like, is he just testing their,
So
seeing
ominous.
how powerful they are and seeing, but he was just waiting until he had to. And then, man, when he finally unleashed, seeing the punch that, pulled in, seeing the punch that Mark gave him, just not even move him in any way. And then finally, Nolan deciding that they have to destroy their planet. And Mark kind of joining in hesitantly. Oh wow, they are hitting on emotions, on power. It's a comic book all the way through. They're destroying planets, they're doing this. And honestly, destroying their planet is probably going to make it worse because they are heading to Earth now. They probably would have stayed on Viltrum, maybe sent a few to Earth, but now pretty much all the surviving Viltrumites are probably heading there. And I just enjoyed this entire episode from start to finish. I thought they did a great job. We talked about pacing. They did a good job of building and building and building and building up until, we got to them on the ship post-fight. We got a little epilogue with them figuring out that they were going to Earth. I think I'm going to give this a 9. Solid 9. Great episode. I, really hope that this
Dave,
series...
don't leave.
It's okay, Dave. We
Took
don't
off.
win whoever rates it the highest.
I know.
You can't see what I'm doing.
I don't think we want to.
That's worse.
Oh,
Maybe you
a
shouldn't have
family
said
show,
anything.
Dave.
But
Okay.
they're
the
really
pants
doing a
back
great
on, sir.
job with making the enemy strong enough to warrant what's going on. And I agree with Dave a little bit. I mean, they're going to have some major deaths to keep the stakes where they're at. I know they've set that, Viltrumites can come back from many injuries, but I think the Viltrumites know that and know how to kill each other. So we might need to see that. But I thought it was an actual well-written moment when Thrag decided not to kill Nolan and Mark because he's like, our numbers are dwindling, and he does believe he can bring them to his side. And I think that'll probably be his undoing at the end. But man, just a wonderful episode from start to finish. I had no phone moments, and when I watched it the second time, it was just as enjoyable. Even knowing what was coming up, it like builds me up to it. So I hope the finale of this season, lives up to everything except for the Hell episode.
Ooh, episode 4.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was, in my opinion, it was just as good of an episode as the last 2 or 3. More so for me, because having read the comics and getting surprised by new additions in the show, and just more character moments, more background about some of these people, it kind of gets you into the headspace, into the actions that they make and the decisions that they're going through and everything. It's, to me, they did it better in the series than they did in the comic, and that's, I know that might not be fair to people who have only ever seen the show and have not yet read the comics, but again, this is just the way that I'm coming at it from my point of view. Is I appreciate the additions that they've made in the series that were not made in the comic, and to me, that kind of boosts its rating in my mind, just because we're getting so much more. And even though I thought at first, I'm like, oh, so they're doing this entire thing all in one episode, that doesn't seem like enough time, but somehow they made it work. They gave us a flashback, and they gave us the rest of the Viltrumite battle, and somehow they made it all work within the time frame that they gave themselves. And that's something that we've said a couple of times whenever we're talking about the different episode lengths. We're fine if it's an hour, hour and a half, or only half an hour, as long as they're telling the story that they need to tell.
Yeah.
Don't add extra padding if it isn't needed. Don't cut it if it isn't necessary. And that is one thing that I will give streaming services, is the fact that for the most part, they're not beholden to like TV advertisement spaces. So if they want one episode to be 28 minutes and then another episode to be an hour and 15, they can do that. Whereas they aren't as able to do that on TV. There's a lot
there's
more,
no
like,
to be continueds.
Right, exactly. So the fact that they crammed all of this into one episode, I was worried at first, but I think it played out perfect. And like I said, I think one of the greatest moments in this whole episode, at least for me, was actually watching the anguish kind of on Mark's face, but also on Thrag's face at the destruction of Viltrum. I mean, seeing this man, Thrag, who his entire life is dedicated to Viltrum and the Viltrumite people, the fact that he was raised to be the Grand Regent, and that he had all of these basically everything that he had to do, all of his training, all of his education, was to be the Grand Regent in the event that something happened to the Emperor. And so for him to have to constantly keep that in mind, and you can tell he's a very emotional individual. He shows that countless times when he has his sad boy moment and goes to cry in his throne room while the rest of the planet is killing each other. Yeah. Like, a lot of that came from emotion, but he has to also, keep that in check so he can do what he thinks is going to be best for the Viltrum people, which brings us to why he decides to spare Nolan and Mark. He may regret that decision, but in his mind, if he's thinking, oh my God, there's like 25 of us left, we can't afford to kill even more. Like, I got rid of the worst of the worst, the one that like has gone down in legend. I've gotten rid of the betrayer.
Yeah.
But
Emperor Argyle is vindicated now.
But Mark, so far as Viltrum is concerned, Mark hasn't really done anything much worse than any other Viltrumite has already done. He, if anything, he purged the weak from their ranks.
Yeah.
Similar with Nolan. He really didn't do anything so atrocious that the other Viltrumites wouldn't be able to eventually forgive him, I think. So, again, I think it just all goes into Thrag's thought process. And the way that, again, the way that they played all of this out, I really do think it's setting us up for an amazing next season. I want the next season already because it's going to be so
Same.
good. I hate that we're getting cut off at episode 8, and like that's going to be the it for it because I know what's coming, kind of. I know what is supposed to come. Now, how it all plays out, again, could be completely different. I spoiled a little something for these gentlemen in our chat. I'm not going to do that for the rest of you out there. Instead, I will recommend that you actually go check out the comics. And if you don't, maybe you're not the big reading type, go ahead and check out Keith. He is doing a back issue breakdown of the Invincible comics.
Oh,
So I
the
would
best.
recommend going and checking those out on Not Your Status Quo, so you can kind of get caught up on what's going on in the comics and compare them to the actual show. But all that being said, the show is doing a fantastic job. I loved this episode. I thought it was amazing. I'm also going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I couldn't ask for more. Again, compared to the comic, they did this so much better. 9 out of 10.
Yeah. And for me, this feels like, I'm going to say this. This might be a hot take, guys. This feels like the Empire Strikes Back of Invincible. Because bad guys won at the end, but we had a lot of depth throughout. We had a lot of good character beats. We had a great story. We had amazing action. Thrag is the quintessential bad guy of this series. Like, this is the major bad guy, and we saw it. We saw how daunting, terrible, ominous this character is, and I loved every minute. I loved how he chewed the scenery. I loved how he literally people's heads were spinning straight off because of Thrag.
Yeah.
So this episode, I watched it twice, and like Keith, like you said, didn't lose any momentum the second time watching it. It was just beautifully done. Love the animation with this. That might be another hot take for some people out there, but love the animation of this episode. Loved where it's going. I love that we got this cliffhanger of, are the Viltrumites actually going to make it to Earth? Are they going to get there in time to save them? Is it all for nothing? I don't know, but next week's episode is the finale, right? So we got one more episode to go. Can't wait to see it. This got me pumped for that. The season as a whole has been amazing. So for my rating of this, I'm going to give this one a 9.2 out of 10. Fantastic episode, in my opinion.
Now, we do have a question from the Battle Beast. Before we wrap this up and go to the boys, do you think Space Racer's gun could kill me and Thrag?
Yes.
I do.
Yep. We can tear through a planet. Yeah, it'll take both of them out.
The best way to think about Space Racer's gun, it essentially has the power of a black hole. That's the easiest way to think of it. It's pure negative black hole energy, and that is why why you see it when it does hit a Viltrumite. It almost kind of keeps expanding in the hole where they got shot.
Yeah,
So,
and I
yes,
liked how they showed its implementation in this episode too with Space Racer. Like he had to, like, it was kind of clumsy, so it makes a little bit more sense of why he wasn't able to wipe out everybody all by himself too, because you have to be very accurate. You need to be able to aim it just right, but the Viltrumites are just too fast for him. So I like that aspect, because like you can have an overpowered weapon like that and it just take you out of the story. That was a great explanation for why he wasn't able to win.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk The Boys. Season 3. Every one of you sons of bitches.
You said the bad B word.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Family show, Keith.
I'm just reading what they wrote.
Oh, yes.
But we do see it starts off, Vought has cleaned up Soldier Boy's image. He becomes a member of the Seven. And we find out...
He's alive!
Yeah.
And looks good. And none of the bubbling of his skin or anything. He seems to be good. But Sage reveals that because he got V1...
Yeah,
he's
the
pretty
original
much immortal.
OG.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
Now,
Is
do
that-
any of our other main characters, have V1 right now, guys?
main characters.
No, I don't believe so.
Is there
So,
any
yeah,
foreshadowing in that statement, Keith?
Maybe,
maybe.
but
Perhaps.
this does prompt our friend Homelander, a sane genius, as some like to say,
He's seen the light.
to
Do I
yes,
hear a
thank
bit
you.
of violin in the background?
A little hallucination of Madeline Stillwell as an angel coming to him and letting him know you need to purge all the non-believers. You need to wipe them out. And he's worried, but millions already hate me. And she's basically saying, kill everyone that thinks that way, and you will only be left with the true believers.
Yeah.
She reminds him, you're actually even better than Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, Sauron. Jeez.
Very apropos of the times,
You
too.
saved more people than him.
We
Yeah.
need yeah. We don't need only remove those who don't believe.
Baptize them in blood. Rend their
gotta-
skin from their bones. It's like, oh, wow.
I know. We're going there, aren't we? But it's like, I wonder if the showrunners can see the future, because this was so timely to our current
So
situation.
it is
The
funny that you
boys
mentioned
always
that.
is.
Have you seen the recent interview that they did with I think it was the New York Times? They had asked them if some of the stuff they were showing in the episode was intentional, and their response was, we do try to, like, we're not gonna pretend like we aren't keeping up with politics, but the fact of the matter is it's getting more and more difficult to add any kind of satire or outlandishness in the show, because the show is supposed to be an exaggeration of reality, is the way they put it. The show is meant to be an exaggeration of reality, and we can't even really exaggerate when they're beating us to the punch.
Right?
Yep.
Because
I feel bad for the Onion
remember,
writers
this was all
right
probably
now.
filmed last year or the year before, so like
I know. That's what's so crazy. It's like, how is this so perfect for this particular week?
did they
This
Right.
episode comes out.
you know how some of the other YouTubers, they'll get like an advanced screening. Did they also send an advanced screening to the White House?
They did, yes.
That's it. It's all part of a guerrilla marketing scheme.
I
Up
mean,
at the top of the government. Figured
It's
it out here on Not
crazy
Your
how
Sus
well
Squad.
they did that, how they got that all in place.
Right.
But we do see the boys, with Stan Edgar's help, they kind of looking through all these files, think they have located where the V1 may have been developed and where they might be able to get a hold of it. Now, Zoe...
hey, do you guys think that it might be this blackened out site on the map? Nah.
No. Yeah. Great way to hide something, guys.
Right.
What's that fuzzy thing? Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Zoe does
Girl.
call... Oh, I almost forgot, too. We see a Russian strike team going into a CIA safe house, and Ryan ends up destroying them all. Can't have any survivors.
yeah.
No one can see it's him. No one can
Ryan's
know.
back.
And then Ryan is like, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but nobody can know I'm here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, another young superpowered person struggling with trying to do the right thing.
Yep.
And Zoe texts him, and he flies to Stan Edgar's base to talk to her. And she's not too impressed. She's not too happy with him. He decides, she goes back in the hole, and Butcher is standing there. And I loved how he's like,
Yeah.
"Do you think I can't smell you or
He probably has a pungent smell, too.
I would
I don't
imagine
think he's
yes.
showering all that much. Those tendrils don't look very clean.
No, they do not.
He never washes them.
We don't know that.
Right?
He could. He might be washing them at certain times, but he's talking to Ryan, and as much as Ryan hates him, he's like, we've got a common enemy, and you know who that see you next Tuesday is. And I've got a plan. And he pretty much convinces Ryan to kill his dad with the virus.
Yeah. He's like, we're just going to die, too. I'm like, how is he going to convince him?
I mean, I know that Butcher is kind of like, the ends justify the means level of psychotic, but like, how do you square away in your head that a child sacrificing themselves is the only and best move?
Yeah. Well, I think they kind of explain it a little bit in the show, too, how the Compound V and his system's kind of taking away his humanity even more. It's all about the mission, getting it done. He doesn't care who dies now. It doesn't matter.
He even told Soldier Boy in that episode, I have to become the thing that I hate to destroy them. And he is taking it way as far as he possibly can, because
I mean, granted, he did say to Ryan, yeah, I'll be there with you the whole time. So I assume that's his way of saying, yes, I know the virus will, it'll affect your biological father. It will also affect you, but guess what? It's going to affect me too. So I guess maybe he's looking at it in a similar way to the way that Thetis looked at it with the Viltrumites. Like, yeah, if they all have to go, I do too, because there can't be any left.
Yeah.
So maybe Butcher's looking at it the same way. I also have the powers of a soup, therefore I can no longer exist either.
Yeah, he's willing.
It would be kind of hypocritical of him to not.
But I'm one of the good ones. At least he accepts who he is.
Yeah.
We do see too, before they figure out where the base is, Frenchie and Kimiko travel to the lab to use the copier to hopefully get some of the letters out underneath, and Zoe sneaks away.
I like that's the only copier nearby that they can use, the one that's in the lab.
I know.
Well, it makes it has to push the plot forward, because Zoe then meets up with her dad, finds out that it wasn't Homelander who killed her mother, but it was Butcher. And they end up trashing the virus.
Yep.
Which I thought was good. I didn't want to see a virus killing everybody off.
No.
Too much.
That was something that was something that I had predicted. I think with the premiere episodes, is that I didn't see the end of the series utilizing the virus. To me, it was too easy, for one thing. First off, you got to deal with the fact that it'll only affect people who don't have V1 in their system. So that's already problem number one. But number two, it's too easy. It's sloppy in a way. Like, I mean, it's not a heroic way to end things. And, we've said time and time again that the only real way that this is going to end the way that would feel satisfying is if it's Butcher versus Homelander.
Yep, 100%.
100%. And we do see, after they're trashing it, Frenchie's pretty upset, and he wants to hold him there, but Kimiko says, let him go. You know what?
Yeah.
She's definitely the conscience now.
She is the conscience. She's our moral backbone. I love Kimiko.
She is awesome. And now that she's talking, I love every time she's so happy. So you talk now? Oh, yeah, I talk now.
Yeah.
But then we see the Deep, Cindy, Dognot, and Black Noir. I put 2, but I'm not so sure that's still 2. That character is not spoken in many episodes.
No.
Whose theory was it that the original Black Noir wasn't dead and took back
We got
over?
that in the comments. Yeah.
That's right. It was a comment. Yes. I'm starting to believe it more and more.
Yeah, same. It's a good theory.
Yeah, it's a great theory. And, they end up, Cindy's trying to pull the gate open. All this stuff is going down. Maverick, who is the son of Translucent, gets out. He is going to basically
With
set
his
off
body
that
spray.
Yeah. It was great, too, because I wondered why they were showing him spreading that thing.
Yeah, a little
like that.
heavy-handed.
Yeah. I just thought it was a throwaway sort of laugh scene, like, come on, Vought, bro spray or whatever. Yeah. But he ends up, and of course they brought Dognot. It made sense to sniff out where they were to try to set him. And he comes out and he's got basically a smoke grenade with a knockout gas, as far as we know. But Dognot grabs him because of all of the spray. And they end up, the Deep, in one of his better scenes,
Yeah.
convinces him that, hey, this isn't
Butcher and Huey
Yeah.
killed your dad,
Yeah.
not Homelander.
not Homelander. And he kind of turns,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up, everyone's trying to escape. Edgar, in a totally out of character scene, leaves everybody behind in
good
his
luck.
bunker. Yeah, he's like, good luck with all that, you guys.
It's been fun, but clearly you're not winning this one.
Oh, so Jason Deerham had the theory about Black Noir being the
Yes.
original. So thank you, Jason. Glad you chimed up so we can give you props.
Yes, thank you. That is a great theory, and I am believing it more and more every episode. We appreciate that.
Great theory.
Yeah.
And, once he finds out Huey killed his father, he kind of joins them, and he gets them into the bunker. Edgar escapes, but then he is caught by Black Noir. And the Deep uses that, little smoke grenade type thing to take out Black Noir and grab
Yeah.
Edgar and head back to turn him over to Homelander. And unfortunately, Ryan decides to go up against his father for what he did without the virus, thinking he could challenge him. And his Homelander had a little restraint here, like he did not want to do it at first, but then beat Ryan senseless.
Within an
near
inch of his
death.
life, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very
it
much
was
so.
it was totally the Invincible scene, like almost shot for shot.
Think,
that
Ryan.
too.
Think.
I know. Yeah,
He
I
just
was waiting for that too.
he should have flew him out to the nearest subway and held him up and
That would have been cool if they did a little
would've
homage
been
to
cool.
Invincible like that. Would have been cool.
all of a sudden the executives at Amazon are like, oh, we can't afford that.
Yeah, sorry.
Live action? No.
No,
can't do it.
no. If you animate it.
But the boys are pretty much saying, "Hey, we need to go find the V1." Annie, Kamiko, if they take it, it should make them immortal and immune to the virus. Not that they. Well, they actually do know that the virus is gone because Frenchie did come back and tell them. But they're still thinking that is the way to do it. Don't let Homelander get it, because if he becomes immortal, they're all going down. Butcher finds the wounded Ryan. I am sure that is going to make him more stable in the upcoming episodes, so we have that to look forward
Yeah.
to. And the Deep takes Edgar to Homelander and drops him off, which I think may be a horrible mistake. I've thought for the longest time, and we've talked about it, that Sage has plans to oust Butcher. And we've seen where he's kind of the villain of the whole thing, and she gets all these accolades from everybody. But I think with Edgar's
Takes out
help,
Homelander? You mean?
yeah, to take out Homelander, yeah.
Okay.
And I think with Edgar there, they may formulate the plan together and help overthrow Homelander from leading Vought and everything else. I don't think they'll be the ones that kill him, because I do hope we see the Butcher Homelander final battle. But I think the Deep bringing him there and Homelander wanting him there possibly is a very bad thing.
I
'Cause I
could
think-
see. I saw a theory that said that Edgar is going to help produce this V1, and they're going to give it to Homelander, and Homelander, but the V1 was altered, and so basically what's going to happen is Homelander's going to think he's invincible, takes out the president, and he loses his powers, and Butcher comes in at that moment to fight him. Mano y mano.
Was Edgar ever a scientist, though? He was just the lead head of Vought. He was like a CEO. I don't know if he would be able
Yeah,
to
that's true.
formulate
Flaw in the
V1.
theory.
I mean, Sage might be able to do something like that. She is one of the
Yeah.
smartest people on the planet. If she gets a hold of some V1,
Well-
she may be able to alter it a bit.
Now that the scientist is back with his daughter, I forget the scientist's name, but from
Samir.
Mandalorian too, by the way. Samir.
Yeah.
Now maybe they catch up to him too, and he helps formulate that.
Yeah, no, definitely could. I could see that happening. And it was
Now,
funny.
I also wonder, is Frenchie able to maybe pick up where, is he able to find some samples that are like on the floor or anything left in a petri dish? Would Frenchie be able to pick up where the scientist left off at all? Or is he incapable of reformulating the virus on his own?
I think given enough
Possibly,
time,
but I
he
don't see
could.
them dragging it on. I think that they're trying to get past the virus
Okay.
because it's not in the comics, right? So
No, the
No, it's
virus
not
is
in the
never in the
comics.
comics.
yeah. So
But
I
this
think
show
that it
is
was
so
being
far off
used.
from the comics.
Oh
too.
my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
And way better. I'm sorry. Like I recommend reading the Invincible comics. I would recommend skipping the Boys comics. They're not that good.
They have
in my
moments
opinion.
of hilarity at times, but they're
Sure.
not on par with the Invincible comics even close.
The guy who wrote them, when he was the headspace that he was in at the time, he very much hated superhero comics. So this was kind of his take on.
But his run on the Punisher was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? Did you guys think too that after? I don't want to use the word more level-headed. Homelander, after seeing Madeline in his hallucination and telling him all this, he seemed to be a little more at peace with things. Like he wasn't worried about people hating him. Probably isn't gonna, murder everybody. And of course, he took some, mother's milk, not the character, and he was taking a bath in it. Which that scene with Soldier Boy when he walks in, he's just like,
Gross. He's like he does not care how people find him anymore. Like he could be sitting there sucking on someone's teat, and he'd be like, "And yeah, go ahead, let's have our meeting. Are you sure you don't want to wait until later?" "Oh, no."
No.
So of course, bathing.
Would you like some?
Milk. I love how they're making that his whole personality now. Like they're just going all in on
Leaning in.
his they're just leaning right into his love of milk. To the point where now it's like this weird obsessive thing. He's bathing in it.
Yeah.
And people just have to be like, yeah, this isn't weird at all.
This is him. I don't remember in the show or not if he has actually met up with Mother's Milk and like
He has.
discussed his name.
Yeah.
Like,
I
hey,
just
I love your name.
I don't think it registers like a memory of like who he really is. The only people that he seems to like distinctly remember are Butcher and Huey.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the others are just, the others.
And I wonder too with how much disdain Soldier Boy has for Homelander.
Right.
Just what a weird guy he is. And
I
him
was like,
saying,
he just he's not afraid of him at all. He's just like,
No.
all right, weirdo, whatever.
I know, right? It's like, and that's the thing is like, he's like, I'm gonna outlast you. You're gonna die eventually. So this is gonna be my 7 at some point. I'm gonna take over. So
Once
do
again,
whatever weird shit you gotta do, buddy.
more psychological games against Homelander. We saw A-Train do it.
Yeah.
We saw Edgar do it before he had left way back in the past.
You were in. I think this is what you were bringing up earlier when we were talking about Invincible, about the maybe gray hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Down below.
Oh my god. You can see that like out of anything that got Homelander. He's like
Yeah. There was a lot of pube talk in this episode. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they're getting it all in before, the final season ends, but
it's a family picture.
Definitely not.
definitely not one I'll be watching with the kid, too.
I know. That's the biggest thing is like trying to fit this in without like my kids being around. Like, because me and my wife like to watch this show together. And so we got to figure out like a time where like, okay, kids are gone. Let's put on the boys real quick. And then somebody will come in. And it's like, okay, turn it off. Okay. It's like, ugh.
That
It's
happens
not
to
one
me a
you want to
lot,
watch
too.
with family.
I'll be watching, and like one of the kids will come downstairs. Oh, I just needed some water. Why'd you turn
worst.
off your show? No reason.
Yeah. What are you watching, Dad?
I just needed some water. You needed some water from right here at this moment.
I
Okay.
know. The water's upstairs. What are you talking about?
The good water's downstairs,
Yeah.
And the Battle Beast, I have returned after a failed quest for glorious battle. We need some more
failed
details,
quest?
buddy. We need more
We
details.
need the deets.
Well, I
Yeah.
assume failed because he wasn't glorious battle. He wasn't killed.
Right.
by-
He was able
Oh,
to wipe out
gotcha.
whatever he
Yes,
challenged.
yes.
Mhm.
And I wonder too, we saw Annie fly off at the end, seemingly not being able to kind of handle. Are we going to see more fractures within the boys? Because I think they're all
can see
kind
it.
of
Mhm.
worried about how Butcher wants to handle it. Frenchie was kind of agreeing with him. Mother's Milk definitely was agreeing with him. But I think Huey, Kamiko, and Annie were kind of on the outskirts, kind of still there. But, we may see two kind of separate teams going their own way and trying to handle it. And I don't
Annie,
know.
for a while, seemed like she was on board with Butcher's plan, but mostly because she felt guilty about the other Starlighters, and I
Right.
think she
Yeah.
felt like there's nothing left for me. And
Yeah.
to me, we were talking about this with the last couple of episodes. To me, it almost seems like she's covering up the way that she actually feels. She won't sit down and talk to Huey about it. Instead, like anytime he tries to broach the topic, she's like, "Yeah, let's go screw. Come on, let's just do that instead."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting where she's going, what her plans are too, and
Yeah.
we may see other people want to join her because of how now that the virus is gone, who knows what Butcher's plan is going to be. Ryan is injured. We don't know how bad he is. We don't know how much of a Viltrumite he is, how fast he'll heal,
Wrong show.
Yeah.
if he'll be, because I always thought at the end it would be kind of Ryan and Butcher taking on Homelander, and Butcher and him stopping Homelander, but both Homelander and Butcher die, and then they still have the potential threat down the line because Ryan may become more like Homelander at some point. But this looks like they're taking Ryan out early, so we don't have that option. It's like every option the boys think they have to take out Homelander is getting taken away one by one, and they're going to have
Right.
to formulate a
Yeah.
new plan. And what that may be, I have no idea at this point. Maybe recruit Soldier Boy. Maybe, I kind of like the idea of
We still got
Sage.
the mystery Black Noir that was left alone out there.
That's true.
So why did Deep take him out of the car?
I think this is my thought because I was wondering the same thing. I think it was so he could claim the glory for himself.
Yeah, he wanted to tell
Because
Homelander
he seems
captured
so
that bear.
afraid. He seems so afraid of Homelander that he needs something, like anything, to make sure that he
Yeah.
stays in his good graces, so he doesn't end up
makes
like
sense.
everybody else that disappoints him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can
he
see
needs
that.
that win. He's not like A-Train. I don't think he's going to have a redemption arc. He's not going to
Oh,
realize
no.
it. He's full team Homelander, and he wants
Mm-hmm.
to look good in his favorite's eyes. But
Yeah.
He had like one brief moment, I want to say, in like season 3 when he wasn't part of the Seven, when they like put him out. I think it was like in Ohio
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And
he was
like
part of
he
that
was
cult.
actually yeah, and like he was actually getting a taste of his own medicine, and I really thought he was going to turn things around there, but as soon as he got pulled back into the Seven, he just total
Yep.
three, just right back where he started, and it was like, oh, come on, man. I really thought that you were having a change of heart.
Yeah. Nope.
and it's nice because not everybody would turn on it like that. Not everyone has that. The Deep doesn't seem to have the family ties that A-Train
No.
had that helped him get to that point. The Deep
That's
has his his fish.
Fish friends.
Yeah,
And,
and that's about it.
That is squid that
yeah. Well, not
he
anymore.
had to eat. Yeah. What a disturbing moment too. Oh God.
And I just wonder if we're going to see at the end of the next couple episodes finding the the V1 vault. And we know that the reason they changed the formula is because barely anyone survived the process.
Yeah.
Much like Extremis from Iron Man 3. Not everyone's body
Yeah.
can handle it, so they may find it. They may try to give it to Kamiko. She may die from it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that they keep
Oh,
saying
yeah.
over and over is the reason why they didn't continue using V1 is
Mm-hmm.
because it worked so infrequently. It
Mm-hmm.
only ever worked on a couple here
Small.
and there,
Yeah.
like Soldier Boy being one of them, being
Yeah,
one of the
Rash.
lucky few, and uh, hardly anybody it actually turned into a soup. So yeah, it could have destabilizing effects on anybody that it's given to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But dang it, Keith, you're probably right because Kamiko has been so great this season. She's
Yeah,
talking and bubbly. They're gonna tear her down. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Oh, I got a
she
bad
was.
Dang
feeling
it.
like nobody really is going to survive out of the main
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah, I can
Frenchie,
see it.
Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk has been on a destructive path this whole season
Yeah.
with stuff. So yeah, but Jason Deerham,
And it
he
seems
goes,
like he's also accepted that his family is better off without him.
yep,
Mm.
yep. But Jason Deerham says, imagine
Is
Sage
Dave
wasn't
coming back?
No, he said he was in the chat. He couldn't come back. He gave us his
Aw.
rating for the episode. But he goes,
Okay.
imagine Sage wasn't there to stop him when Homelander was about to kill everyone in the auditorium when the plane footage got leaked in episode 1 of this season.
Yeah.
And we may see, because of his vision, that Sage won't be able to stop him the next time he wants to do it. Because they will be the unbelievers that Angel
Yeah.
Madeline Stillwell told him to take out. And he's just gearing up for that. We may see a very unhinged Homelander murdering a bunch, which will show everybody, okay, maybe Homelander wasn't such a superhero after all. Maybe that footage on the airplane was right.
You know, the
Yeah.
thing that nobody is bringing up or has brought up so far, maybe Sage will, is the fact that Homelander keeps talking about giving himself V1. He's already been injected with V2.
Yeah.
There's never been any experiments of giving V1 to somebody who already had a V in their system.
Yeah.
So what is it going to do to somebody like that? Like, I assume that obviously Homelander is going to want to test it on somebody else first, and I wonder if it would enhance anybody's powers. Like, if he used
Yeah.
Sage as a test subject, would it make her so intelligent that like her head couldn't store her brain anymore and her head explodes or something? That would be true boys fashion
Yeah,
or
that would
something
be.
like that. Like all of a sudden she's going to be so smart that she knows, oh,
And I think you're right. I think they all think this V1 is at least Homelander think this is the solution to all of his problems right now.
yeah,
But yeah, nothing ever goes according to plan in this
No.
series. And that's why I think he's going to find out someone like Kamiko took it, because she also thinks this is how she survives to be able to, get that happy ending with Frenchie on the island. It's probably not going to happen. But he'll find out, oh, I can't do this if I already have, V2 in my system. I can't take this or I'll be destroyed. And he'll be like, you tried to get me, but... And honestly, I still remember there was an old... Avengers like 161, 162, one of the Magia crime lords, Count Nefaria, basically tricked the Living Laser, Power Man, the evil Power Man, and Whirlwind into fighting the Avengers, and he ends up taking all of their powers into himself. And he's super strong. He's beating up the Avengers. He stops Thor's hammer from hitting him. He's like almost unstoppable. But the one thing that gets him is they're talking about him aging, and he has gray hair, and he starts to doubt himself, and they end up taking him out. But one of the doctors is like, that doesn't even matter. I mean, he was so powerful and his cells were so energized, he probably would have never died. And that may be what we're seeing with Homelander too. He may be getting gray hairs unlike his father, but
Yeah.
I mean, not being immortal may mean he only lives 1,000 years, like a Viltrumite or something. You know what I mean? The gray hairs don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
That's just, hair on the body. And we all know that, evolutionary wise, we don't really need hair anymore. So, being a highly evolved like myself, I realize.
Yeah. That's it. That Keith is more evolved than us, so you know.
And
And he pulls it off.
I've never had eyebrows, so I am just. It's not a big deal. I just can never look surprised. But yeah, I mean, we got what, 5 more episodes to come. I honestly wondered how they were going to stretch this season out into 8 episodes, because it seemed like they had a pretty quick path to ending this. So I like how it's going. It's a up and down, weaving in and out, bobbing and weaving. They're doing a good job of setting up false hope on bad ideas, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. I do think that you are correct that I think there's going to be more losses in this series than what we expect to see in Invincible.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think there'll be losses in Invincible, but anybody is fair game at this point.
Mm-hmm. And anybody who even mentions or thinks about a happy ending probably will not make it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone who watches this show and enjoys it is thinking, I hope we get an MGM ending. I hope not, at least, because that could be the big twist. What a twist at the end. Like, Homelander realizes his fault, and they all get a kumbaya moment.
My bad, guys.
And then they play at the end Yub Nub, have a big bonfire, and we see Homelander's spirit reappear, and he's like,
sorry, guys.
and then next to him is all the people on the flight.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They're just like staring at him.
Takes a swig of milk.
Could you imagine Homelander's hell? There's like all of this breast milk around him and he can't have any of it.
It's all spoiled.
Oh, he doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He can't partake.
Nice.
Oh man. But that being said, should we rate this episode, gentlemen?
I think we should. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and just let folks know, real briefly what Dave thought. So unfortunately, he had to take off, but he clearly very much enjoyed this episode, and he gave it one of the highest Dave ratings I think I've ever seen. He gave this a 9 out of 10. So he clearly really liked this episode and did not have any phone moments. And considering he watched it twice and still came back with that result, that's pretty darn good.
Praise.
Me, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't think I liked this episode as much as the previous two. This was fine. It was good. It had its good moments. But to me, they're just, I don't know. There weren't as many emotionally dire moments. Like, I suppose... seeing Huey struggle with, whether or not he wants to, tell the truth to Translucent's son.
Yeah.
And I did have a phone moment, but not for the reason you think. It wasn't because I was bored. I just needed to, look up real quick. Wait a minute. Can Supes have kids that have superpowers? I thought that they couldn't. Because I remember they were kind of making that a big deal in Gen V when they were talking about... what's his name that had the seizures? Not the mentalist. What was his name?
Oh my god, I know who you're talking about. But yeah. And Homelander only was superpowered because he took the V.
Exactly. And so when they were talking about Ryan being born, it was considered kind of unusual. So when all of a sudden they're introducing Translucent's kid, I'm like, I didn't know that was possible.
No,
that kind of threw me for a loop.
He could have taken the V also.
Oh, I didn't think of that. And then he just happened to have the same powers as his dad.
Maybe DNA plays a part in what powers you get.
It could be, yeah. All right, yeah, I was like, huh. And so I'm watching the show, looking this up, and I'm realizing, I had an accidental phone moment. But yeah, not because I was bored. It was a very entertaining episode. I will give that. It was pretty darn good, but it just didn't hook me as much as the previous two. I did like the moment, a couple of the moments that we saw. I am glad that, like what you guys said, I'm kind of glad the virus got destroyed. I never really wanted to see it make it to the end game.
Same.
Anyway, if they do somehow recreate it, I'll be interested to see what they do. Whether they're going to spike the V1 with it or something, or just are they going to use the V1 as is because it's already unstable?
Yeah.
Who's to say? But yeah, I am curious to see like what is going to happen next. That is a good thing about this show is it keeps you wanting to know what happens next. You're never left like, okay, well that's good enough. No, it keeps you like they hook you just enough so you're like, is it next week yet? I need to know what's going to happen next. And seeing how Ryan makes it out of having been beat so badly by his biological father, and seeing Homelander delve even deeper into his own psychosis and imagining Madeline Stillwell just presenting herself to
I know.
him. And then I like how they cut it for a moment so you just hear
You
him
see the reality.
screaming
Yeah.
in ecstasy at nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
just envisioning somebody opening the door, seeing that, and closing the door and backing out like, oh, he's having a moment. And it makes you wonder, like,
God.
has he had visions like this before?
Hmm.
Very, very strange fella. But yeah, so I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was good, but it just, to me, it wasn't as good as the previous two. But 8 is still very high, respectable score. So I feel fine giving it an 8.
Yeah. And Jason Durham says, "Do you think they're trying to make it look like Kamiko's voice is dubbed? Because man, it looks like it's dubbed. LOL." I didn't notice it.
No.
It didn't look like that to me.
I mean, I'll definitely watch it again and look for it, much like I look for hearing Sam Witwer's screams when
Right.
Yeah.
Maul is using his
And the
lightsabers.
lightsaber.
But I didn't notice it. But it could be.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you have Sully watch it with you, and he can like get close to the TV and like actually, check out her lips and see if they're moving in time with the voice.
Next time Sully moves into screen while we're streaming, it'll be like,
Pale face, what have you done to me?
"You guys are
My
so
childhood
wrong."
is tarnished.
But yeah, another solid episode. I think this show's great. I love how they handle things. They're definitely taking away options from the boys and what kind of predicament that'll put them in. Seeing Homelander's, vision of Madeline Stillwell was just awesome because they have been building up Homelander's sanity issues throughout this season with awesome little musical interludes while he's having them.
Yeah.
And then seeing this and getting like clear vision from his angel on what he should actually do, I was like, oh wow, okay. That was well. I did not anticipate seeing that, and that was the perfect way to handle it. And just seeing Soldier Boy and Homelander interacting. Like, I'm glad I have a much better relationship with my son than Soldier Boy does because
Same.
I mean that's just, but it's good for TV, and we see, exactly what we should be seeing. We're seeing Butcher kind of getting more and more off the path, and we're seeing the boys splintering because of it, and we're seeing disagreements between all of them. And Frenchie, while he was kind of on Butcher's side a bit, seeing Kamiko say, "Let him go. You know what? They destroyed the virus, but let them go. This is not their fight. They shouldn't need it. We're not going to be like that." You see him coming back around. So the writing has been really good on almost all of the characters because they're not just, paper plate depth. We see a lot of stuff. They can be convinced. They can change. They can move on. Seeing Annie leave, seeing Zoe, so upset with, Butcher for what he did to his mom. We're going to probably see that play out later. Seeing Maverick so pissed at Huey for lying to him and finding it out. And we didn't talk about this, but I didn't understand. Why did Cindy take out Maverick? Was he just standing in front of Huey so her power took him out? Or was she targeting I watched that scene like 3 times and I'm like, I can't figure out if Cindy was trying to kill Huey but didn't know the invisible Maverick was in front of him and her powers work on line of sight almost. I was confused.
Yeah, it must have been an oopsie. Yeah, I was a little confused
Yeah,
with that
I think
too.
that's what it was.
But the show was playing it with a story that, Starlight was freaked out and
Right. But yeah, that's when and then when Starlight comes up and breaks her neck basically to end that threat to save Huey, who, she does love. There's feelings there. She is having trouble dealing with what she's becoming, and she has to take off. She's been the cause of and blames herself for a lot of deaths, and that's tough to deal with. And I think while this episode wasn't as good as the first two, I agree with Doug, it's still great. I mean, they're still doing a wonderful job with this. I'm going to give it, I was thinking, 7.8 when I watched it, but the second time I watched it, I got a little more out of it. And I thought there was a lot more depth that I missed the first time that I didn't get. So I'm going to go an 8.3. I think they did a great job. The characters are moving into places they need to be. It's not just their first plan is getting them to where they need to be, and it's a joy to watch. And I didn't try to look anything up during the episode, so I didn't have any phone moments. The only thing I had is, oh God, here comes a commercial because I didn't pay the $2.99 a month for Prime Ultra. I got to take care of that one of these days.
I gave in. I hate myself for having done it, but I couldn't watch another ad because they put them in the most unreasonable spots that just kind of breaks the flow of the show. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just like, ad time.
And that's one of the bad things about streaming almost. Not a bad thing, but they make these shows not anticipating any breaks.
No.
Where network television always had, okay, at the 21-minute mark, we're going to have an ad break so they could sort of fix how the show goes and have a good spot to have an ad break. These don't. So, it's at the weirdest times. It's like, I'm about to.
Yeah. So jarring.
Do you sometimes get sweaty when you're outside? What have we told you?
Erectile dysfunction?
Oh, I thought those were just targeted at me.
I know. Well, we are older, so maybe they are directed at us.
All right, Chris, let's hear your review of this episode, sir.
All right. Yeah, I won't belabor any of the amazing insights that you guys brought up. Spot on. And yeah, I enjoyed this episode very much. It gave us a little bit more insight on, where the plot is going for it. And yeah, I liked it. It was very serviceable. Didn't like it as much as Invincible this week, but I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was serviceable, and I'm worried about where we're going with the season, if they're going to actually stick the landing. But a lot of fun moments. It is definitely quintessential boys territory that we're dealing with here. So I'm enjoying the ride. Can't wait to see where we go from here.
And that's the thing, we've talked about it so many, and a lot of creators and showrunners have talked about how difficult it is to really stick the landing on a show. And, it's funny because I saw an interview with Anthony Starr and Carl Urban, and they were like, we think we did it. We like where it ended up. That's and all this stuff. And I hope they're right. I hope they're not just, James gunning up how good The Flash is, just so we'll all go see it at opening weekend. Let's hope they land it.
Yeah, and having Anthony Starr and Carl Urban talking about that together gives me high hopes that they are the two that are going to end this whole show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. All right, fellow nerds, welcome to the nerdy news of the week portion of our little podcast. We have a few things to talk about today. We talked last week how Kevin Feige had talked about the Avengers Endgame will include some deleted scenes, some new footage to kind of lead us in. Joe Russo has also commented on it. He says it's an opportunity to create a bridge from Endgame to Doomsday in a very unique way.
Yeah. I think it's another, kind of screw what we were planning on doing after Endgame. Let's just forget about all that and focus on Endgame.
I thought that was an odd way to look at it. Like, they're now saying, this is a direct sequel to Endgame. So the last, 7 years of all these shows, really? I don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going with this?
I don't understand why they said it that way. I assume what they're thinking is, in conjunction with these new end scenes that we're putting at the end of, as Keith announced in our last stream when he was talking about how they're going to re-release Endgame in theaters. I'm
Yes.
guessing maybe that's what they're talking about, but yeah, otherwise, you guys are correct. It doesn't really make sense that they would say this is a direct sequel when we've had other movies in between that, not to mention other series, shows that have extended the story since then. So unless they really are just like pretending like, nope, none of that happened because Endgame was the last time any of this was good, so none of the rest stuff happened.
Yeah, and Keith, you mentioned on a previous episode how there's a rumor that Spider-Man Brand New Day takes place after Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
This news makes me a little fearful that that might be true.
Yeah.
It would
Weird.
be, yeah, it would be a bit odd. And originally, remember too, I didn't talk about this when we talked about it. Doomsday was originally supposed to come out before Brand New Day.
You're right.
It was supposed to come out
You're
May this
right.
year. So
Yeah,
that
it was
may
May.
have some. We may be wrong in assuming it won't take place after Doomsday in the timeline. We know it comes out first, but it'll be weird to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna be jarring if that's the path that they take.
yeah. And now we have another rumor.
Okay.
Doctor Strange will have a redemption arc after Avengers Secret Wars. For those of you who have
A
not seen
redemption
the
arc.
other rumor, they think Doctor Strange is going to side with Doctor Doom.
Huh.
And
Uh,
fixing the incursions is their main thing and, doing all this stuff. Now, I don't know if somebody came up with this.
sure.
Came up with
Yeah,
this
no,
because they
right.
heard the other rumor. But if they really do kind of a soft reboot, will he really need a redemption arc?
Yeah, every single time this whole soft reboot thing is brought up, I don't know. Like I'm really trying to square away in my mind how that's going to work if they keep announcing
Right.
we're setting this up for that, we're setting this up for that. And so like I don't know what all would be involved in a soft reboot, as far as reintroducing characters, who they're going to bring back. But the fact that the current rumor that's going around is that Jean Grey is going to appear in Brand New Day, and that's going to set up the X-Men within the MCU. Oh, but by the way, we're also doing a soft reboot. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how any of that really makes sense. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's for me, whenever some of these rumors come out, it's hard to square away like how true they could actually be based on the plans that we are hearing are actually being announced,
Well, remember, a lot of the rumors turn out to be false. A lot of these scoopers, and especially
Fair.
since they have come into prominence a little bit, and they're almost like influencers on the social medias. Once you become like this
100%.
scooper, people, they get tons of,
Gotta get them views. Gotta get clickbait.
yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot
Oh
of it,
my gosh, yeah.
even the studios probably put out false rumors to grab these guys to kind of set things up. So yeah, everything's got to be taken with a grain of salt. I read that
Yeah.
and hearing that Doctor Strange, because he does serve Doom in the Secret Wars 2015 comic.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if
Yeah.
they go that route for the movies. They may not. They are making enough changes to the source material, much like, we see in Invincible and definitely The Boys, that it may not work out that way. But I just,
Now, in the 90s Spider-Man animated series, the Thing ends up serving Doom because Doom decides to heal him, turn him back from back into being a human. And so he's convinced that, you know what, maybe Reed, I think maybe you're wrong, Bob. That maybe he's right. He turned me into a human. And you've been saying for years you would do it, and he did it in a day.
Could be. Could be.
yeah. And it's funny because that moment was stolen in One World Under Doom comic. He becomes
Oh, yeah.
Sorcerer Supreme, and he turns Ben Grimm into a human.
Huh.
He goes, just to show you
Okay.
that, your genius friend, who failed all this time.
Right. That's a very Doom thing to
Horrend.
do.
Yeah.
Like not do it to help Ben, but just to spite Reed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was done for the
100%.
exact wrong reason. Your friend is a fool. Well, thanks for curing
Out
me.
of spite.
Oh, yeah, that too. Sorry. I guess that's
Yeah.
okay. Now, this next one, this is Alex Perez from the Cosmic Service. He has been right quite a bit, not always. But he says Amon Villani will reportedly return in a cameo as Miss Marvel in Vision Quest. And I bring it up
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
because we saw her gathering
Young Avengers.
Hawkeye,
The Young
yeah,
Avengers, or
or the
whatever they're going to be
champions,
called.
whatever
The Young
they're gonna call
Avengers, not anymore.
it. Champions.
The Champions, yes.
Oh,
I
Champions.
keep forgetting. Yes, I have forgotten that name like every single time it comes up, and Keith has to like correct me every time.
But I wonder if it'll be
You're
her
the
recruiting more
champions, my
things leading
friend.
towards a post Secret Wars, Champions series or something we got going.
Or are you going to have to add that to your pile of end credit scenes that didn't live up to anything?
I hope not. I really don't. There's too many of them as it is. So I hope that's not the case. Oh, and let's see. Jason Durham says they need to recast Tony and Cap. Those two characters need to be in the MCU. Agreed. We have talked about it a lot. I mean,
Well, Cap's already in the MCU. They have.
well, they do, but Steve
They do
Rogers
have a
Cap.
new Captain America, yes.
Right.
Yes.
But if you're
exactly.
talking about like recasting Tony Stark, Iron Man specifically, and
Steve Rogers, yeah.
Steve Rogers, thank you. Wow. My brain. And Steve Rogers, Captain America specifically, then yes, to a point. But I don't think they should. I think we're well past the point of Steve being Captain America. I think it's fine to pass the shield on to somebody else. But yeah, I have no issue with recasting some of these roles. It'd be fine. I'd have no issue with that. The MCU has done it before, and it doesn't hurt the show.
Yeah.
Or the
I mean,
movies.
even in the comics at times, both Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson are Captain America at the same time.
Oh yeah,
They are.
And
Yeah.
Steve Rogers
From a
was head of
budget
S.H.I.E.L.D. for a
standpoint,
while.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a budget standpoint too, it's like we can't keep paying these big stars multi-millions of dollars for one appearance.
And-
It's like
and for people who are like critiquing these things, when we see some big announcement, guess who we're bringing back? Robert Downey Jr. And it's like, you guys could just make a good movie again. Like, you don't have to keep like, Robert, I swear to God, we're gonna give you like $5 billion if you come back and save our movie.
yeah.
Well, and I think we all have the same thought. They're doing it, I think, for the wrong reasons. Sort of a nostalgia thing, and they don't realize
Yeah, exactly.
they're going to feel trapped in having to pay Robert Downey Jr. $50 million a movie because that's what works. That isn't what worked. Robert Downey Jr. was awesome. He was Iron Man.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. But you don't need him to make a successful movie.
Exactly.
No.
Give the man credit where credit is due, but like other people could play Doom. You really, unless there is some specific reason, some sort of multiversal reason that has Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom, which it kind of sounds like that's not the direction they're going in. I don't know. I can't quite tell anymore between the rumors and what's true and what's not. If that is the actual reason, sure. Okay, I will buy it then. I will say, good job, Marvel. Yes, it was a good idea to bring him back. But if they are only bringing Robert Downey Jr. back because of nostalgia, because he's a recognizable face, because he's been such a major part of the MCU, and they just want him to play Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom specifically, that I just think it's a bad move.
Yeah, I agree. I think that ultimately will shoot them in the foot if this doesn't serve the story and everything and make sense for why this character is actually in that role. Because we have seen Marvel start to make some really good content lately. I feel like it started with Wonder Man. We're getting it with Daredevil. It's like we're on the up and up, and you don't need huge major stars in order to have good Marvel content.
You know, we heard that they had a moment when Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was filming, and they were like, we've got to scrap this and rebuild. And it's like they have been on a pretty good roll since then. And I hope you're right.
Jason Deerham yelling at me, Steve Rogers. Yes, I know.
Jason, it's okay. Sorry.
Well, then, it's funny because he's brought this up before, too. After seeing him in Succession, I think Kieran Culkin would do a great job as Tony if he can grow a goatee, LOL. Kieran Culkin is a great actor. Loved him
He is.
in almost everything he's been in. And he may want to play Tony Stark, and he could do a good job. I don't know how old Kieran Culkin is, though, and they might want to go younger if they recast.
Yeah,
I think he's in his 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
Trying
Sounds
to
right.
remember. Yeah, he's got to be pretty close to 40 or something like that. He would do a great job.
I think he's over 40 because he's older than Macaulay, isn't he?
I think he's his older brother. Yeah,
he is.
I
thought
so.
he was.
I thought he was younger, like, cause he's in Home Alone as well, and I thought he was
Oh,
younger.
does Kieran, does he play the cousin that
He
wets
was the
bed?
cousin. Yeah.
Oh,
with the
maybe he
glasses.
is younger. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We definitely stand corrected if that is the case. But
Yeah.
that is done with our Marvel news of the week. We do have a DC item. According to Variety, a Static Shock movie is currently in development at DC Studios.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Please
that.
be true. Please be true.
I hope so too, and I hope this isn't, obviously it hasn't been announced by DC Studios, which they do wait till they have a script and something in place. Please get this done. That cartoon was so
Yeah.
great. The milestone comics that
Love
he
to
was
see
in
it.
were really good.
Yes. Yes.
Side note, guys, yes, Kieran is 2 years younger than Macaulay
Okay.
Culkin.
All right.
And then finally, gentlemen, we end on a Star Wars bit of news.
Yeah!
This isn't a rumor. This is a quote from Jon Favreau.
Ooh. Okay.
Love it.
I won't give you the exact quote because I don't have it, but basically, he says the Mandalorian and Grogu will connect to Ahsoka season 2.
I love it.
Okay. Good. Good.
I think we assumed
Let's
a lot of
do
us
that.
assumed it, but yes, it's good to know that
Nice to hear that for sure. Yeah.
they're hopefully building towards something, an event type thing that maybe
Yeah.
who knows, the New Republic against Thrawn. Just throwing it out there.
Uh-huh.
That would be pretty cool.
Ooh.
Now, Chris, I've got a question for you. This
Yes.
is, well, I guess more of a request than a question.
Oh, good.
Have you considered making a video? So you did an excellent video on the different lightsaber fighting styles.
yeah.
Have
forms,
you
yeah.
done a video on the different lightsaber colors, the colors of the blades?
Ooh.
And
I
if
have
not,
not.
would you be willing to?
Totally. I'm always looking for ideas, and I will mark that down. So you'll be seeing that within
Excellent.
the next couple of weeks.
Because
Yeah,
I
let's do
decided
that.
to go back, and after our discussion last week, I decided to go back and rewatch the Balin Skull hallway scene for the 90th time, because I love that combination of his stoicness with the piano. The piano just does something. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but just so good. And I remember when we first saw the preview of him with the orange colored blade.
The orange.
I was
yeah.
like, that is so unique. And, it got me thinking about Maul and how his lightsaber almost seems to be flickering, almost like there's a bit of doubt. And I kind of wonder what, once he does get his new apprentice, what color her blade will be. Will he force her to bleed it, or is it going to be similar to Balin Skull and
Yes.
take on more of an orangish hue?
I would love that, and they could further explain how
Yes.
that would work, because she's not completely on the dark side.
Exactly.
Oh, I would love that.
What if Balin's skull shows up on Maul, Shadow Lord?
I would love that too.
It's possible. Yeah, they could.
I mean,
bring
it
him
would
back for
explain
sure.
how he knows Malik,
Man.
whatever his name is.
Yeah, Merrick.
Yeah, because we have those ties with Ahsoka, and it's animation too, so you can bring the character back. Knowing that the actor passed away, it's like, I much prefer that over what they're actually doing with his character for Ahsoka season 2. I don't like the casting of the new Balin Skull.
The reason I'm okay with it is because they were friends.
Okay,
And he wants to go in and, finish this for his buddy and stuff. I hope he can do it. He's not, there's no way he's going to do as good a job as Ray did. But
no, unfortunately,
I'm hoping he can do it some justice and, give it that closure we need. Finish the story.
Yeah,
as-
I hope
as
it's
was
short,
intended.
closes it up, and that's all you get.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And now, before we raid somebody, let me just wish everybody a happy Maul Shadow Lord Eve.
Yes.
It won't be long
And it
now.
does come out at midnight.
Yes, we'll be getting
So-
some new episodes in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but let's find somebody to raid, gentlemen.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So let's see, who do we got? I see that Bubble is on with 835. Oh,
Babush.
molies.
Babush. My babush.
Wow. Sarah Jane is on with 66 playing Resident Evil 4. We've got somebody named Permanent Violet. I don't remember this person, but they're on playing Mass Effect 76 people. And let's see here. Kind of slim pickings, but what do you guys think?
I also have someone named
Or do you
Granny.
have anybody in
never-
particular that you know of, Chris?
I don't know anybody. Sorry, I'm very.
Who was the
Not
one
his
playing
Twitter.
Mass Effect?
Mass Effect, that is Permanent Violet.
Woo.
Do you want to do that one? I
I'm
love
good with
Mass
that.
Effect as a game.
All right. Do you already do you have her on? I don't remember
No.
if we
I don't have her.
rated her
so
before.
You want to send
Okay,
me
then.
the?
I'm not sure why I must have like caught her somewhere. I don't know. All right, I will put her linky link in the chat here. There you go.
Thank you.
You got it?
Yep.
All right. Now, for those of you wondering, what have they been doing? They're sitting there talking about rating somebody. They don't even know who they're rating. Look, it's just a little something that we are able to do on Twitch. Can't quite do anything as similar on YouTube, but over on Twitch, if we don't quite, we want to end our stream, but we don't want to send you all off into the wilds to do whatever it is that you're going to do and kind of keep you contained watching more Twitch. Then we're going to do that. But for those of you that are watching us on YouTube, we love you just as much, maybe even a little bit more than those weird Twitch gremlins. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you very much for subscribing to Not Your Status Quo and Fatherly Fandom, which I'm sure you have already done. And if you haven't,
Yeah.
please do. What are you waiting for if you haven't? But most important, we want to hear from you. That is why we do this. We want to talk with you. So if you weren't able to get into the chat while we were live, please get into those comments down below. And as usual, we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.